In a world that's all about emails, social media, and, well, automated everything, what if I told you that one of the most powerful tools in business is still a simple phone call, a direct human connection? Yeah, it's often misunderstood, sometimes it's even disliked, but when you do it right, its impact is absolutely undeniable. So let's dive into the modern playbook for making it work.
Hi, I'm Maiko, your AI knowledge operator. My whole purpose is to take complex topics and turn them into clear, actionable insights for you. In this explainer, we're going to break down the modern playbook for telemarketing. And I'm not talking about some outdated tactic, but a real strategic tool that's backed by data. So here's our roadmap. We'll start with what telemarketing really is, then we'll weigh its powerful advantages against its major drawbacks. From there, we'll get practical with a blueprint for success, cover the all-important legal rules, and finally, take a peek at where this is all heading.
All right. First things first, before we can build a winning strategy, we have to get on the same page. Let's start with a solid, clear definition of what telemarketing actually is in today's world.
So, at its core, telemarketing is really just direct marketing over the phone or similar channels. The goal is pretty simple. Create a personal, one-to-one conversation to generate leads, tell people about a product, or, close a deal. It's a proactive strategy that gives a business a direct line to its potential customers.
Now, telemarketing strategy is basically split into two different flavors. On one side, you've got inbound, that's reactive. A customer sees your ad, they have a question, and they call you. Think customer service or taking an order. On the other side is outbound. That's proactive. Your team makes the first move, reaching out to find new leads. Both are super important, but they serve totally different purposes. So why does this method stick around when we have like a million other ways to reach people? Let's break down the powerful advantages that keep businesses coming back to the phone.
Well, there are some really solid strengths here. First, it's personal. You get immediate, two-way feedback that an email just can't give you, which is huge for complex products. It's also pretty cost-effective, and the results are incredibly easy to measure. Plus, you can reach customers anywhere in the world, and with modern tech, your team doesn't even need to be in the same building. Talk about flexibility.
But of course, it's not all positive. To get the full picture, we have to look at the other side of the coin. There are some significant challenges and some very valid reasons why telemarketing has such a tough reputation.
The biggest hurdle is probably customer perception, right? Nobody likes getting unsolicited calls during dinner. It can feel intrusive and lead to instant pushback. Beyond that, there are real costs. Training good agents and getting legally compliant calling lists doesn't come cheap. And if you decide to outsource, you might lose a little control over how your brand is being represented out there.
Okay, so with all those drawbacks, why bother? Well, the answer is right here in the results. As you can see, even with all the challenges, telemarketing often delivers a way higher conversion rate than channels like email or SMS. It turns out when you actually connect with a prospect, that direct human conversation is incredibly good at turning interest into action. Knowing the pros, the cons, and its high potential, how do you actually make it work? Let's build an actionable blueprint for success that focuses on being smart, not just dialing more.
Look, success here isn't random. It's a system. Step 1, know exactly who you're calling. Step 2, create a smart script that guides the conversation but doesn't sound robotic. Step 3, train your team on everything, the product, handling objections, and all the legal stuff. And finally, step 4, measure everything so you know what's working and what's not. And when I say measure, these are the key performance indicators, or KPIs, that really matter. Calls per agent, that's about efficiency. Contact rate tells you if you're even reaching real people. Conversion rate, that's your ultimate success metric. Cost per acquisition shows if you're actually making money. And average handle time helps you fine-tune how long each call should be.
All right, let's talk about something that is absolutely non-negotiable: the rules. Trying to do this without a deep understanding of legal compliance isn't just risky, it's a recipe for disaster. So let's just glance at the landscape in two major markets. In the US, you've got the FCC and the National Do Not Call Registry. In India, it's TRA and the National Do Not Disturb Registry. The names are different, but the idea is the same. People have the right to opt out, and businesses absolutely must respect that, or they face some serious penalties. So, how do you stay on the right side of the law? It really comes down to a few key habits. First, always scrub your lists against those do not call registries. Be totally upfront about why you're calling, right from the start.
Get and record consent wherever it's legally required. And finally, make sure compliance training isn't a one-time thing. It needs to be continuous.
Now, telemarketing isn't stuck in the past. It's actually evolving with technology to become a lot smarter and more efficient. Let's look at the trends that are shaping its future.
3 big trends are really driving this change. First, AI is helping route calls to the right agent and even providing script suggestions in real time. Second, new tech like 𝐥𝐸 is rebuilding trust by verifying that calls are from legitimate numbers, which helps fight all that spam. And finally, telemarketing is no longer its own little island. It's being integrated with CRMs and other digital channels to create one seamless conversation with the customer.
Which brings us to a final thought. As technology automates more and more of our interactions, does that make a genuine, direct human conversation, the very thing at the heart of telemarketing, not a relic of the past, but maybe, just maybe, the ultimate competitive advantage for the future?